And the man who was bitten by Suarez, Chiellini, backs Suarez and calls the ban on him excessive. Even Maradona says the ban is too harsh on the Uruguay striker. But first up, let's take a look back at the action from last night. Cristiano Ronaldo achieved a milestone when he scored Portugal's winner against Ghana in their final group match. But his beautiful strike was not enough to rescue his side. Portugal crashing out of the World Cup last night. Severely frustrated, unable to score goals and out of the World Cup. That really has been the story of Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal in this World Cup so far. Let me go across to Mark Robinson, our special guest, football enthusiast, who's actually on the football ground in Mumbai right now. Mark, were you disappointed by Ronaldo? He's the most celebrated striker in the world, but coming up a cropper in this World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, football is a funny game. You know, it shows you that it's not a one-man team. Unfortunately, I would have loved to see Portugal advance, but they're out of the World Cup. Pepe, foolish mistake, cost them big time, and Portugal's out.
Yes, Eric, at one level you feel bad for Ronaldo. I don't know if you share my sentiment, but you know, he has so much pressure on him. He tried to give his best, but so many missed chances. This was a tale of just what could have happened had he converted his chances yesterday.
I don't know what you're talking about, Shivani, but what I noticed was he had a wonderful hairstyle. What do you think about his hairstyle, Mark?
He's got a cool hairstyle, you know. The World Cup 2014 in Brazil was a lot about the footballers, their wives, their hairstyles, and a lot of good football too. And who can forget the nail-biting finish, rather the biting finish.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff happens, you know, unbelievable stuff.
Yes, we'll talk about that bite and just what people are saying on the ban on Suarez in just a bit. But actually, a quick reaction on Ronaldo and Portugal. So many missed chances for him. 3 was the goal difference by which Portugal ultimately went out, and he could have actually scored 3.
Yeah, in hindsight, obviously looking back, he had the chances last night to maybe get a few more goals and help Portugal progress, but it's been a little bit unfair on him. You know, a lot has been on his shoulders throughout the World Cup. The sheer light of days is the rest of the team has let him down. They've not been good. Pepe getting sent off, so I think it's hard to blame him. He's done his best. He scored a goal, but just wasn't to be. And it's a shame because one of the best players in the tournament is now going to go out.
Ash, that goal was a gift from the goalkeeper. He had a couple of good chances out there to convert, and a quality striker would always go there and finish it and make it count. But he just took a free candy, basically.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he had a really good header first half that he really should have put away. The one when he was clean through towards the end, he probably was fouled, but you know, a man of his calibre should have put it away. So he didn't fire to his 100%. He'll know that. But again, I still, you know, I blame the team as much as I blame him.
Yes, it is, of course, a team game. One man can take a lot of the blame, but perhaps not entirely. Let's move on now. Germany finished on top of the table after their hard-fought 1-0 win over USA in their final game of the Group G. It was Germany, as expected, who dominated the game from kickoff, but they struggled to get past the USA defense, who were spot on. But Joachim Löw's side did finally break their resilience thanks to Thomas Müller's sensational strike in the 55th minute. With that goal, Müller now leads the race along with Messi and Neymar for the tournament's golden boot. Let's take a look at the points table. The American will hardly be mourning that 1 point they got, rather the points they missed from this game, because they still qualify for the last 16 on 4 points and better goal difference. Right, Boria, USA in the final 16, quite a landmark for them.
Absolutely. And you know, if you now look at USA, I've been sort of studying the US quite a bit. You will see football has taken off in that country in the last 2 years. Go and check Grant Park, you know, famous for Obama's speech. Every day there are giant screens and, you know, thousands and thousands of supporters supporting and cheering for the US team. Real investment is happening in the game, and once the Americans take to something, they will take to it quite seriously. US has a real chance of going ahead, and they've done themselves really proud. Klinsmann has done a fabulous job. United States playing football seriously can only be good for the sport.
Yes, Mark, do you feel football really making the inroads in markets that it wasn't so popular in earlier? A lot of countries that were minnows are making it through to the last 16 this time.
Absolutely, you know, a point well said. You look at USA, I mean, till about 10, 12 years ago, they were pretty much struggling. But given the right infrastructure, the support from FIFA, and development of football in the country as a whole, it has done wonders for football in USA. I wish, and I say this with deepest regret, hope, and pain, the same thing would happen to India. We've been struggling for so many years, and we have good players, and I just wish at some point in time, genuine players get an opportunity, and football in India makes us proud, if not now, 10 years from now.
Yes, Mark, we share your view. We've been discussing just when India can get into the World Cup. Of course, that's what everyone wants to see. And we have one of the best men to talk about it in Ashley Westwood, who's the I-League winning Bangalore FC coach. But Ashley, I believe you have a few friends in the US. What are you hearing from your mates back?
Yeah, it's exploded, especially the last 6 years. When the MLS first started up in the 90s, I think there was only 10 or 12 competing sides. Now they're up to 20 teams that compete in the National League. I think by the end of 2016, 2017, they're going to up that to 24. We've obviously seen the news of David Beckham buying a franchise team in Miami. So it's only good for the sport, but they've got great stadiums, they've had great investment, and they've built from the ground upwards, which is, a country like India needs to emulate that. They need to start from the grassroots and build it right up, as America have shown that you can do that.
Exactly, Ash. One thing which we all have noticed since we're all in the football fraternity, what MLS is doing differently is drafting its own homegrown players. It gives them opportunity. So when they come on a World Cup stage, on a world level stage, they can perform and they don't really, crash out. So that's something that I would really like to, call out, and what they're doing right. And in India also, we should look at this, and we should kind of consider a stronger grassroots program, a stronger youth development program, and kids should get drafted from within.
Absolutely. It can be done.
Exactly.
That's what the message is from both Ashley, Mark, Boria and Eric here. Moving on to the other two results of the night. Belgium maintained their 100% record win in the tournament with a 1-0 win over South Korea in their final Group G match. Having already booked a place in the knockouts, Belgium fielded a much changed side with Manchester United winger Adnan Januzaj making his debut. The Red Devils were clearly the better side, but they were reduced to 10 men just before half-time. Stéphane Defour was shown a red card for an ugly challenge, but it was Mark Wilmont's side that scored the first and only goal through Jan Vertonghen, and that came in the 77th minute. With that win, Belgium finished top of the group with South Korea's exit, meaning the Asian challenge in the World Cup is over. On the other side, Algeria have qualified for the pre-quarters despite being held to a 1-1 draw by Russia at Curitiba. Russia knew they had an outside chance of qualifying and they attacked from the word go. In fact, it was Fabio Capello's side that took the lead in the 6th minute. Alexander Kokorini heading from close range. The lead lasted just lasted till the 60th minute when Islam Slimani converted a set piece to level the scores. The score remained 1-1 till the end, and a point was enough to see Algeria through to the round of 16. Here's a look at the Group G final standings now. Belgium maintaining their 100% win record, which sees them finish top of the group. Russia, South Korea's poor showing means they're now returning home, and Algeria is through. Right, a lot of surprises we're seeing in the last 16. I took that question to Mark earlier, but actually, Asian challenge is over, but very good challenge from Africa, and South Americans are ruling this World Cup. Ashley?
We've seen some top can you hear me? We've
Yeah,
seen
go
some
ahead.
top European sides. Sorry, I'll start again. We knew from the start of the tournament that the South American sides were going to be accustomed to the heat. We've seen European sides go out. All the Asian teams have actually finished bottom of their group, which didn't bode well for Asia. But there's been a few nice surprises in there. Algeria a nice surprise, obviously USA are a nice surprise. So the tournament's wide open. Let's hope a surprise wins it maybe for something a bit different.
Let's talk about Luis Suarez now, the man who's still ruling all the headlines. He'll no longer be part of the World Cup, that's confirmed. The striker from Uruguay was banned for his infamous bite on Chiellini. Here's a look at how the football fraternity is reacting to it now. What's surprising is that actually Suarez is getting a lot of support from the man that he bit. Chiellini says that the ban is excessive on Suarez. The fact that he won't be allowed inside stadiums and all is perhaps too rough on Suarez, and that he feels for him and his family because this will be a difficult time for him. That's not all. Even Diego Maradona has come out and supported Suarez saying that you might as well handcuff him and send him to Guantanamo. That's quite a strong statement coming from Maradona. He goes on to say that the FIFA has absolutely no sensitivity towards the fans. But the news that is also coming on Suarez is that Barcelona is still very much interested if they can get him, quote-unquote, for the right price. So those are the updates on Suarez. Twitter world is still abuzz. Fans still feel that he got off too lightly because somebody like Ronaldo said that this is the kind of punishment that I'll give to my son if he did something wrong. Eric, but you're not surprised that clubs will actually still go after Suarez?
Suarez is a quality player. We all know about that, right? Now, if they can get the right price for this is a good negotiation tactic for them. They'll be like, you've done some big mistakes, but we'll still get you right price. So, not surprised at all.
Yes, and Ashley, back in England, Liverpool's Jamie Carragher said that it's unfair that Suarez is missing the season for Liverpool. When he was banned for Liverpool, he didn't miss games for Uruguay. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a real steep ban. I think it's the first time that someone has done something for a country, and obviously it's affected their club stuff. I think what happens is big players want to see big players playing in football, and they're probably all feeling a little bit sorry for himself. But at the end of the day, you can't go around doing this stuff, and the punishment really is probably just.
Yeah, Mark, what do you feel about this? Do you feel the ban on Suarez was all right? Was it excessive? Or, as some are saying, it was really just a rap on the knuckles?
What he did was totally mental. I think he got off too lightly. I'm happy he got penalized, and I wish it had been more severe. Because don't forget, at the end of the day, everybody is watching the World Cup. We have young kids who are easily influenced by what their stars do, what their mentors do. And I think he got off too easy.
Yeah, Boria, final comment to you very quickly. The world is abuzz. There are such conflicting views on this, and it's amazing that there's no consensus on this.
There will never be a consensus. Think of Tiger Woods, think of Lance Armstrong. Both of these people for very different reasons when they were fallen heroes. Did you ever see a consensus on them? Did you ever see that Tiger Woods was hated by everybody, or for that matter Lance Armstrong? These are legends, they are stars. You will always see polarization happen.
Yes, and the reactions from Uruguay and their camp have been even more severe on FIFA as expected. This is the question we're asking our viewers tonight. Which one is their best goal of the World Cup so far? RVP's brilliant header, Cahill's stunning volley, or Rodriguez's solo effort for Colombia? Tweet with hashtag #OpenHappiness and your choice, and we'll get you live results right now on Carnival 2014. This tournament surely has seen some amazing goals, perhaps some of the best we've seen in a long time. This wasn't an easy list to come to. Everyone has their own opinion, from RVP's header to Cahill's stunning volley and even to that Rodriguez strike. Just the stunning value of that header cannot be discounted. Like I said, it's not an easy list to come to. Let me go across to Ashley and see if he agrees with it. Ash, what's your view on our top 5 of the tournament so far?
I mean, there's been some amazing goals. The Muller goal last night was, you know, a little bit of time to think about it. The finish was pinpoint. It was a magnificent finish. The James Rodriguez goal, I thought he showed tremendous skill and unbelievable composure just to flick that over the goalkeeper. I think if Messi or Neymar would have scored that goal, we'd probably all have had kittens with that kind of goal. But for me, the only little disagreement I've got with yourself is Van Persie's header was fantastic technique, and he almost looked like Superman as he headed it into the net. But I would have to go with Cahill's volley. He's travelled 45 yards. It's his weak foot. The technique and the strike and the timing. He's watched it straight onto his boot, and it's the cleanest strike you'll see, straight onto the crossbar. So I'd probably just disagree and go with Cahill myself.
Yes, of course, the technical prowess needed for that goal was enormous. Mark, what's your view? Cahill's stunning volley or RVP's brilliant header? What's the top goal for you?
I would have to go with Van Persie's header. And I think even though Messi's goal with Iran, the one he put in at, I think, in extra time, I think that was flawless, even though that doesn't add up to the top 5, but I enjoyed Messi's goal as well.
Yes, like I said, not everyone can make it to the top 5. Boria, what are your thoughts? Anything we missed for you?
You know, I have to agree with Mark there, clearly. I mean, the Robin Van Persie header for two reasons. One, the impact. They were down and they have suddenly become contenders for the World Cup. So that goal changed and transformed the Holland team completely. You know, that is the reason one has to place it at the top. And again, I would have loved to see Messi there. Maybe because of my personal bias, but I would have loved to see the magician there.
Oh, absolutely. Messi has had some great strikes. Of course, that strike that you're mentioning against Iran in the 91st minute was quite stunning itself. But Rodriguez, Eric, not a lot of people talking about him, but you know, he's the toast of Colombia. He's known as the new kid and just 22 years old, and stunning work from him.
Valderrama said, you don't need another Valderrama, you got Rodriguez now. Yes, that was a beautiful goal. And that's what is expected from a striker like Messi and Neymar. And this boy is doing it all by himself. Fantastic. But for me, RVP, I'll tell you why. From a footballer, everything is expected to do from the foot, even if it's his weaker foot or his stronger foot. Now, for a footballer, he doesn't get so many balls on the head because he plays the game with the foot. So there are some buy-ins and by defaults. What RVP did was fantastic. I mean, the way he judged the ball, the way he saw Casillas out of line, and he lobbed the ball was super, super, super for me.
And let me add to that just how brilliant he looked while doing it as well. Till the time he actually fell to the ground after that.
You could give him the Oscars for it.
It was a stunning strike. Let's take a look at the result that our viewers are giving us. Here's a look at that poll, and yes, perhaps the consensus is on RVP. 69% of the votes for him, 23 for Rodriguez, and just 8% for Cahill. Well, that's a little bit of a surprise, but you can keep tweeting in. We'll show you our final results. These are live results, so tweet in with hashtag #OpenHappiness, and let's see if these results move quite a bit. To our final segment of Carnival 2014. We asked you at the start of our show just what has been your favorite goal of the World Cup so far, and here are the live results once again for you. RVP was leading by a big margin, and well, it stays more or less the same. Now Rodriguez is gaining a little bit, but Cahill is still down to single digits. That's perhaps been the shocker of this poll. All right, Mark Robinson, Ashley Westwood, Eric Benny and Boria Majumdar still with us. Before we go to them and take their final views on just what has been the highlight for them from the group stage, let's take a look at how that final draw actually looks right now. Brazil and Chile take on each other tonight, together with Uruguay and Colombia, two cracking South American derbies, if we can call it that. Then we'll have the Netherlands take on Mexico, Costa Rica on Greece on 29 June. 30th June is France versus Nigeria and Germany versus Algeria. Two of the European giants taking on two of African countries in fray. Then finally on 1st July are the last set of pre-quarters. Argentina taking on the Swiss and Belgium fighting out against a surprise package, USA. All right, let me start with Mark Robinson. Mark, you're wearing the orange, so I'm guessing the highlight for you have been the Dutch.
Well, yeah, you know, the World Cup so far has been a combination of highs, lows and disappointments. Highs, you look at Van Persie, you look at RVP, the way he's played, the magic of Messi, Neymar, and who can forget the lows, England being knocked out, Italy being knocked out, and big disappointments when you see Spain, you know, and you look at the mental madness of Pepe and a man from Uruguay, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Luis Suarez. So, it's been pretty good so far, a mixed bag of emotions, and it only augurs well for the final 16.
Yes, we've seen a lot already at the halfway mark. Ashley, very quickly, the highlight for you before I go to Boria and Eric.
Yeah, the highlights for me was the first game and Holland destroying Spain. The second point is all the big players actually performing apart from Ronaldo. But one thing that sticks in my memory is the Brazilians singing a national anthem. And if I could steal one of Eric's words, it's just beautiful, as he says.
Absolutely. Eric?
France. Très bien. That's what they say. Too good. It's a squad working together, scoring goals. What else could you ask for?
All right. Boria, final word to you now.
You know, it's a 20-second frame for me. Messi's foot kicking that ball against Iran going into the nets. God created football and God created Messi to kick that football.
All right, that's a good note to end our special today on Carnival 2014. Mark Robinson, thanks a lot for joining us, taking time out. And of course, our regulars, Ashley, Eric and Boria, will be back with our expert panel every day of the FIFA World Cup. For the moment, though, it's time for me to take your leave. Goodbye and keep watching Headlines today.